What's up, everybody? Welcome to your Kind of Funny AMA for April 2017. I am your only host, Greg Miller, alongside no one, because I said only, but I am a robot. And so I say things in a certain order, and they just come out regardless. It's been my pleasure to serve you. If you never caught a Kind of Funny AMA or a Kind of Funny Games AMA, the idea is simple. Over on patreon.com/kindoffunny or patreon.com/kindoffunnygames, we put up a post saying, hey, patrons, give us your Q's, and then we will put up your A's over on youtube.com/kindoffunny or Kind of Funny Games. Of course, this is the Kind of Funny Q&A, so it's over here on Kind of Funny. You get the idea, right? Non-game questions over here, game questions over there. That's what we do. Let's get into it. I think we have 25, according to patreon.com/kindoffunny. First up, and by the way, I have not read these in advance, so if I have to stumble around or look for something on the internet, so be it. So fucking be it. Patrick Kanan. Hey, Greg. My friend and I just started a podcast a few weeks ago called The Friendly Neighborhood Podcast. Any advice for two guys starting out who have never done this before? Sure, Patrick. Of course, there's topics about this up on youtube.com/kindoffunny. You go to kindoffunny.com as well. Get everything there. Bernie Burns from Rooster Teeth and I did a Greg Way a long time ago about how to podcast. There's a whole bunch of stuff up there. It kind of plays into my whole thing, too, of like how to get into video game journalism. There's a Greg Way about that as well. But in general, consistency. What I think people take for granted with podcasts is that it's a muscle. And I know that sounds stupid because many of you have real muscles. But the idea of being able to talk, take a breath, not worry about taking a breath into the mic, know how to pass the thought to somebody else, have this conversation flow together, have it be jumping around, doing these things. Because like people always talk about me talking too fast. For me, micro pauses, like when I'm like, well, what do you think, Tim? Or like when we finish a topic and it's just like there's that, everyone takes a breath. I hate that. I hate that silence because I want the show to flow for everybody else. And everybody, I think for the most part, and you're watching this, you must think we have some kind of flow going, that it goes well. So you got to get out there and do it. You know, it's similar to my journalism thing where I'm always like, just go and do it. You got to do it right now. You got to start. Don't wait for the equipment. Don't wait for this. Don't wait for this perfect scenario because it'll never come around. There's always going to be something else you wish you had or wish you had done. And you're always going to want to wish you were better, but you don't get better until you get out there and start flexing the muscle, training the muscle, getting going. I always make the joke, you know, that like, when I'm out with normies, as I call them, friends who aren't in the YouTube, video game, whatever business, you know, they're doctors or lawyers or just parents. And they talk to me about the job. I always make the joke that like, you know, for me, there's always that thing, what's up, everybody? Like when I don't talk like that all the time. I don't talk this quickly, this animated all the time, right? I'm on camera. I want to fill the screen and this weird ass background Kevin put behind me. I want to make sure that I'm being entertaining to you. So when you just talk to me at dinner and you're a normal person, I'm just, but then I'm always like, if they could bust through the door right now and I'd be, what's up, everybody? I'm here at John's house having dinner. John, what did you think of the dinner? You know what I mean? Like there's something to that, and that's not easy to do, I guess. I don't know. It's a skill that I didn't think was a skill for a long time until they put a camera on me. A great example is acting. I've had the chance to act. This, you know, you guys have taken me a lot further than I ever thought I'd go. And I get a chance to go act and stuff. And since I don't act ever, I'm fucking terrible at it. And I hate it. And I think through everything I'm doing, and I'm just bad at it. It's because I never do it, right? That's a skill. That's a muscle you need to flex and train and do all this different stuff. Podcasting is the same way. So be consistent. Do you pick a day or two or whatever you're doing for your podcast? Make sure you hit that time every fucking day. Similar to like when PS I Love You, right? 9 a.m. every day. We don't make a thing about it with Game Over Greggy, but like, you know, that's midnight every day. There's a breakout, or it's 5:30 a.m. There's a Gamescast breakout every day. That's key to it. That's something we're fucking up with Let's Plays. We know we're trying to, you know, figure that out. Kind of Funny Live 30 is coming up soon. New announcements. You know, we hired Andy. There's all sorts of stuff. Kindoffunny.com/KFL3. So consistency, get out there and do it. You got to just fucking do it. And when you do enough of them, you'll start to feel like you're getting in a rhythm and you know what you're doing. Then reach out to other podcasts, start collaborating. That's how you grow an audience, and so on and so forth. Sorry. Cassidy Coyote. Would you rather be clairvoyant with no memory or have a perfect memory with absolutely no foresight? Basically, would you prefer absolute control over how your future plays out, yet forget it all, or have the ability to perfectly recall everything in your past, yet make horrible decisions for the future? I would 1,000% want to be clairvoyant with no memory. I'm guessing this is in a split second or whatever, but absolute control over how the future plays out, yet forget it all. Like I would know, I think I'm understanding this correctly. Clairvoyant, I would see my entire timeline, know how I'm going to die, know how Portillo is going to become king of the earth, and then it's all gone. Would way rather have that than fucking be Memento over here, be able to recall my past perfectly, but fuck everything up. Memento doesn't end well for him. He's very sad. He gets the worst part of that movie, that girl spits in his beer. Gross. And he drinks it. That's fucking disgusting. I do not want people doing that to me. I want my beers to be my beers. Clairvoyance. And then Cassidy follows up on her own thing with a comment. Totally separate note. When can we see Clements on GOG or The Morning Show or something? Mishearing that guy. Mishearing from that nice young man. Excuse me, Cassidy. I love the yogurt in the morning, but then you get a piece of granola back there. You're fucked. Fucked. Clements. That's a tough one, man. See, Clements works at a big video game corporation called PlayStation. Great people over there. However, lots of approval processes to get people to come to do anything. And I don't know if you've noticed, we work kind of blue. Yeah, I mean, like, we can get away when Shuhei wants to come on, Scott Rohde, sure. Somebody wants to come on for a topic of the show, they want to come on a very specific thing. Great, no big deal. Bring Clements on the Gamescast to have, or I'm sorry, not even Gamescast, on GOG, Nick talking about horrible fucking Nick things. I don't know, it's a tough sell. Clements is welcome here whenever we can make it work, but he's also got a kid. He's also busy. He also has a bunch of approval processes. I don't know. I would assume when PlayStation finally gets the good sense to send him packing, he can come over. Don't fire Ryan Clements. I love Ryan Clements a lot. He's doing the drop now. That was cool. I mean, he's been doing it for a while, I know, but like, it's cool to hear his voice. I miss him too, by the way. Mitch Krassen, if you could get any one person in the world to do something at Kinda Funny Live 3, who would it be and what would you have them do? Mitch, I don't like this question because I don't like this question because I don't want to spoil. I don't want to tip my cards to you on what we're working on for Kinda Funny Live 3 and who we might be talking to or who we might not be talking to. So all I can say is if you want to know what's going to happen at Kinda Funny Live 3, you need to come to kindafunny.com/KFL3, buy your Kinda Funny tickets, come to Kinda Funny Live 3 here in San Francisco, the Regency Ballroom, June 3rd. Whole weekend of activities planned. It's going to be fucking great. But the problem is if I say, I want Phil DeFranco to come and I want him to do this, then you know Phil DeFranco's not coming because why would I tell you what Phil DeFranco was really going to do? He's not coming. Probably. But you know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm saying. Anyways, can't do it. Don't go do this. Jason, what is your favorite dish to cook? What food reminds you of your mom or dad? Have you tried cooking with one of the meals from Zelda IRL? Also, you are awesome. Have a great day. Okay, well, there's a lot to unpack there. Let's go. Let's think about this now. My favorite dish to cook, obviously, I cook wings once a week. I love that. That's my signature dish. The problem I have is that, well, not the problem, I guess. I like to cook the wings, but it's now second nature. I know how to do it in my sleep. You know what I mean? Made them up in Canada for Jen's family. Their temperature was a bit different. The wings didn't come together the way I wanted them to. They liked them. It was fine. What I've only cooked once, but I want to cook again, is this chicken thigh chorizo dish that I made for myself, Jen, Aaron, and Colin one night a while back, obviously, before the house exploded. Well, it didn't explode, you know what I mean? Like, before Colin flew off like he's going down south. Colin is Kal-El. He's going south to Santa Monica, and I'm Cara Zor-El, and I'm just moving, in a different San Francisco place. But I guess I'm not getting stuck in like a time warp. You know what I mean? The house didn't literally explode. Anyways, the chicken thigh chorizo dish was really good, and it came. That's what I used the giant cast iron for. If you ever saw Jen hold that one up, that was big enough for her to cook in or to be cooked in. And then the best part was that Jen then made bread from scratch, and then the chorizo dish it had all in the chicken thighs. It had all this sauce in there. And then you took the bread and you dipped it in there, and it was all oily and great. Yeah. That's the fucking jam. I've only cooked it once. I need to cook it again. I want to cook it for Big Kev Dog. What? Yeah, you'd love this dish. The problem is I got to make fucking something for Paula then. Don't make shit for her. She'll bring us out. All right, cool. That's fine. What food reminds me of my mom or dad? I mean, mom, it's a dish I don't cook anymore, but like I haven't cooked in a long time, I should say. But mom, her comfort food was buttered noodles and cottage cheese, egg noodles. You cook them like spaghetti or whatever. Get them all soft, and you put them in the bowl. Then you put butter in there. You spread the butter around on them, and then you put scoops of cottage cheese in there and eat that. It sounds gross, Kevin. I see you making the face, but it is delicious. And that is like the rainy day.
You won't eat chili, but that's fine.
Yeah.
That looks like someone vomited up spaghetti.
No, because vomit never looks like cottage cheese.
Yeah, it does.
No.
Yeah.
No. What are you eating? What are you eating?
I drink a lot of milk.
And it curdles inside you and then you throw that up?
Yeah.
I guess that does happen to you. Anyways, no. Buttered noodles, cottage cheese. Again, it's funny you bring up, chili and stuff. I think often on rainy Chicago days or, cold winter days, mom and dad would make chili and soup and then eat them out of these not little, I guess that's the whole point, a bit like mugs that had the thing on them, but they were for soup and they said soup and stuff on them and chili and stuff.
Yeah.
I would never eat goddamn anything out of those because that's disgusting. But I miss those cups and I miss those rainy days in our old house. You know what I mean? 1429, man. That was the address.
One time my mom made fish head soup and served it in cups, just mugs.
Okay.
I don't know why she
Was it
did that.
good?
Yeah, it was really good,
Yeah.
actually.
Morgan K's got a long one. Let's go. Hey, Greg. I don't have a question, but I do want to say thank you. Thank you for everything you have done for me and the rest of the community, especially in the last month. You've really showed the strength of Kind of Funny and how great this community is and what it means to be a best friend. I wish you nothing but the best as Kind of Funny moves forward without call, and I know that everything is going to be okay. Love you and your little baguette. J'ai envie de Saint Ange. Morgan. Then parentheses. I would love you to have a read of this when you get some downtime and would really love it if you could pass it on to Colin as well. This is from reddit.com/r-kind-of-funny. It's the Pride of Long Island, a Kind of Funny love letter. Oh, I read this when it went up. The link's already gray. It's his love letter to Colin. I know for a fact, because I hung out with Colin once or twice in my lifetime. He's read this as well. Colin is all over the Reddit, the Facebooks, and everything else. So I assure you, Morgan, I've read it already. He's read it already. Thank you for your support. Yeah, it's been, an interesting month. A month from now, a month and a half. It's been 2 months or whatever, right? Ish. Whatever. Since everything happened with Colin leaving and everything else. It's been interesting. It's been good. It's like, we talked about this obviously last week. Last AMA. I won't beat a dead horse. It's been bittersweet, obviously, losing Colin. But pairing that with where we are going, where we were already going, bringing on Andy and stuff, having that in the fire for so long, it's very interesting how, if there was one thing I could change, I wish Colin could have hung on a little bit longer to see what Kind of Funny's like now, if that makes sense. Because it really was that as he was leaving, we were bringing on Andy, we were doing a whole bunch of stuff for Kind of Funny Live 3 and now it's all these different things. Like, The Office feels way different. Now, granted, it feels way different, I think, probably in one breath because Colin's not here. But it also feels different of like, oh, fuck, like, this is what we want Kind of Funny to be. We want it to be this community of best friends, hire in best friends, make it better, make more content, make better things. Now, granted, of course, that goes back to the Game Over Greg show we did where Colin and we had different visions for what Kind of Funny would be. But even, I don't think this is like a bastardized version of where we were with Kind of Funny, where he wanted to be. But it's been an interesting month. I do feel like reinvigorated in a really interesting way. Like I feel like this is going to sound very fucking Game of Thrones, but it was like a cleansing by fire, right? Of like, we had our mettle tested there for a few weeks of, first off, personal drama, obviously, then the reaction from the audience, then trying to not learn, I guess, but communicate with you guys the way we want to communicate with you. Like I talked about in that Game Over Greggy, like we should have been fucking live that week, but we weren't. And then we should have had the GOG with Colin right away, but he wasn't ready. And so it was this perfect storm of situations that led to us not communicating the way we want to. And I think when we got live again with the morning show, that helped. The GOG helped, and now where we are now. I think it's just a good reminder of like what Kind of Funny is and what we're meant to be. And I don't think it's. I don't want to say it knocked us down a peg because that isn't what it did, but it did remind us, and I think remind you that it is just a bunch of fucking friends hanging out making content. And so yeah, we have this crazy set studio and we do these crazy things and we host crazy events but it's still like, well, what's going to happen with PS I Love You? And I'm like, oh man, I think I got an idea, but I'm not sure, so I'll keep you posted. You know what I mean? Like, we don't have all the answers and stuff like that. Even though next week, I think now, we'll have the update on PS I Love You up. It's hard you're, again, in a very big, this is a perfect storm of good things that are happening lately with me. So it's just very busy time right now. But next week, I want to say on Tuesday, because that's my plan. My hope will be the Tuesday after this goes live. Because remember, these AMA videos go live the final Saturday of every month. The Tuesday after this, so the first Tuesday of May, I'll have my update on what I want to do about PS I Love You and where I want to go with that. And then that will lead into Kind of Funny Live 3. But I'm not going to give you the URL again because I'm not trying to pimp that. I'm just trying to talk to you. Because again, figuring out as we go, making cool content as friends for our friends. And if you're like, well, I don't like you guys, well, that's okay. You can move on. You don't have to feel like you have to sit around here and, I don't know, ingest this because a long time ago you liked it. We understand. We love you. Francisco says, hey, Greg, what are some of your favorite stories of your writing days back in Missouri, and what tips do you have for up-and-coming writers like myself other than getting out of a dying industry? Oh, and I started my own site a while back to get more writing under my belt, gigabit3.com. Feel free to check it out if you'd like. Frankie, let's check out Gigabit 3 right now. Hold on. Gigabit 3. And that excitement of opening a web page for the first time. Well, it's loading slow, so either the fucking internet's crap again, or this website is not optimized for Chrome. While that loads, let's jump back to the questions here. From Francisco. So one of my favorite stories of riding back in Missouri. Oh, man. I feel like all my Columbia Daily Tribune stories, because that's where I worked after college when I got my journalism degree, are now super sad, bittersweet ones. Because I think about my favorite stories all revolve around this editor named George, I worked the night shift. I worked Tuesday through Saturdays, and I worked Friday and Saturday nights. And so I was general assignment. So Tuesday through Thursday, I came in at normal hours, and whatever people needed me to pick up, I picked up. I got a whole bunch of different assignments, ran around, did a whole bunch of different stuff. But the way the paper was broken up is that there was the politics guy, there was the cops and courts guy, everybody had their own beat. I was just there to catch out of the ordinary things, work on longer features, do these different things. But then Friday and Saturday nights were none of those guys worked. It was me and one other reporter that swung in every, whatever it was, 7 weeks, 8 weeks, depending on how many reporters they were. Everybody took a week, And that meant I covered everything. So that put me in so many weird situations of, the one I always bring up is like when we were listening to Police Scanner, and the SWAT team had surrounded this Greyhound bus because they thought a fugitive was on there. So we raced over there, and we got there, and we get there, and all the SWAT team and their machine guns, and we're in the radius, they're not far in front of us around this thing with spotlights on the bus. All the people are still on the bus. You can't see into the bus. It's just shadows or silhouettes through the windows. And I'm back at my Ford Taurus, pressed up against the wheel well, because I'm angled behind a cop car, pressed up against the wheel well, watching over, taking my notes, and my photographer's leaning over my hood, taking photos as well. And we're sitting there, and it's like this. They're yelling into the megaphone. People are just nothing's happening. And we can hear very quietly, "Crazy Train," Ozzy Osbourne, crazy. Well, that's how it goes. And it's very quiet. And it's going on over and over and over again. The photographer's taking it, and he's just like, why are they playing this song? Is this psychological warfare? Are they doing all these different things? Why are they playing this song? And it was one of those things of, I was like, yeah, why are they doing that? Doesn't make any sense why they're doing that. And then it dawned on me that it was my phone. My phone was going off with a ringtone for Poe, my best friend. Poe was calling me during a hostage standoff. Now, I'll stop the story. So eventually they order the people off the bus. All these people come off, hands over their heads, machine guns drawn, and they get the bus driver out. And finally the bus driver's like, there's one guy in there. He's in the bathroom. We're like, holy shit, the fugitive is in the bathroom. This is it. What's going to happen? It's like another 5 minutes of screaming. And finally you see the bathroom door silhouette open up, and this guy starts slowly coming down the bus, and I'm like, holy fuck, this is it. This is the big moment. What's going to happen? Are they going to shoot him? Is he going to shoot them? Turns, comes down. It's like a 94-year-old man who's in there taking a shit. And he comes off, and he's elderly as fuck, and they have to walk over. No fugitive on the bus. Ran over there and did all this stuff. But it's all bittersweet because I think of George and all these memories I have of George, giving me a hard time, teaching me so much and stuff. And he passed away after I moved out here, and I didn't know he was sick. So it wasn't right away. It was years later. You know what I mean? I was living downtown, so it must have been 2010, 2011, I left the paper in 2007 or whatever. But in that short period of time, I always envisioned him still there, every night working the night shift with some other cub reporter doing these different things, being a goon. And I just didn't realize he was sick. I didn't realize any stuff happened. It's one day I woke up and on Twitter they tweeted that, an editor was dead. And I was like, who? And oh shit, it's George. You know what I mean? And one of my biggest regrets, and this is something I always talk, I make jokes about it, right? Not jokes about the death, but jokes in the podcast, I guess, next week. And I've been doing it on the morning shows, right? Of Mother's Day with the Pro Flowers thing. I always had this thought of, on Saturday or Friday night, I'm like, oh, George is working right now. I should call him and give him shit. I should call him and give him a fake tip. I should do something else. And I was like, I'll do it later. Oh, the time. And I put off, and then I missed my opportunity. So when you have those opportunities you think of a random friend, a family member or whatever, jump on them. Even if it's just a text, even if it's just an email, doesn't matter. They'd love to hear from you. And that's why it's really hard for me to think of stories that I did back there. They all meant a lot to me. Everything I did there meant a lot to me. But it's also another one that I covered so much death and sadness, and I had to go to so many funerals and so many wakes and talk to people that I wasn't invited to these funerals or wakes. Talk to people cold during a funeral, that's the worst. And so that's the whole thing I always talked about at IGN that I continue here of it's not lost on me that every day of work here is a vacation. No matter how mad I am that, oh my God, this guest is canceled the E3 and it's not nearly as tough as that stuff. Tips for up and coming writers, right? all the time. You got to get better. Keep learning. I mean, I was never great at magazine editing, like grammar. You know what I mean? I got through my classes or whatever and then learned some of the paper, but that's all atrophied, similar to the podcasting muscle, right? Like I don't use it that way. So now it is that thing where I'm writing text and I'm like, shit, should there be a comma here or not? Like I feel like there should be a comma before to every time, but I can no longer remember the rule of why that would be. So keep doing that. Keep practicing. Let's see if your site loaded. It did. Got some blue yellows here. You got some stuff going on here. You got some Batman stuff. What did you think? You say the Batman review here. How was the conclusion to Telltale's new series? God damn it, Kevin. I don't know why the computer's making noise over there. That's going to load. We'll come back to that, Francisco. Alexander Gates. Yo, Greg. I'm similar to Nick in that I pay attention to the rhythm and melody of music much more than the lyrics. So I usually have a hard time remembering them. Therefore, every time you display this extraordinary ability, whether it's a Taylor Swift song or a random jingle from the 90s commercial, from an early 90s commercial, my eyes widen from the sheer awe of it. How do you suppose you gain this amazing superpower? I think it's that I listened to the same stuff over and over and over again. I think I listened to pop radio for a long time in country radio, and you hear the same songs over and over and over again. Same thing like, the dinosaurs jingle. Capture those dinosaurs, those romping, stomping dinosaurs. It's a dinosaur hunt, Chef Boyardee, dinosaurs, ooh. Like that's just, it played during fucking Batman all the time. So of course I saw the dinosaur song over and over again. It's like Crossfire. Everyone knows the Crossfire jingle. That's too easy. I won't even waste it on you. You'll get caught up in that's just how it was. So I don't know. I think it's just that I do that and then I'm kind of insane. So I sing to myself a lot, both in my head and in person, I'm just singing like around the kitchen or whatever. So maybe that had something to do with it. But basically all that, the brain power people use to memorize rules for grammar or geometry, I just use for stupid fucking music and jingles. So there you go. That's why I can sing anything off of Michelle's Broken Bracelet. Michelle Branch's Broken Bracelet album. This would have been a better joke if I just fucking nailed it, but I fucked it up. That was the album you had to mail in for to her family, and they sent you a manila envelope with it and her indie stuff. Anyways, I digress. Logan Wilkinson. Hey, Greg. Seeing as we both went to college in Missouri, I'm curious, what do you love the most about the Show Me State? Particularly, what outside of Mizzou did you enjoy? I went to Missouri State instead of Mizzou, but I still have a great love of my time, or for my time in Missouri. Curious to see what made the state special for you as well. I mean, it's a lame answer with the people. Everybody in Missouri was awesome. You know what I mean? And especially what was interesting about it is that, I've talked about it before. I got the degree in journalism and then went to work at the Tribune. And on the first day, I felt like I failed because walking into the Tribune, I had gotten close to a couple gaming jobs, going to write for Inquest Gamer, or I thought that I'd go right to IGN or GameSpot or EGM right after school, and it didn't happen. And when I got in, one of the, as soon as I got there and sat down and got my first assignment, I was like, nope, I love this. This is fucking awesome. I love this job. But one of the things in my head, I was just like, man, I'm gonna be going around all the same places I've been around for the last 4 years, which was college, right? Like my friends are moving away and starting their lives, whether it's just even if it's as far as St. Louis or Kansas City, or if it's California. But I was like, I'm gonna still be bumming around, Shakespeare's and the Quad and all this stuff, and it was that weird thing of just moving a little bit, because this doesn't make any sense to you guys, but moving, I guess, the 4 or 5 blocks that it is from campus to the paper completely shifted my perspective of Columbia, where suddenly I was getting sent on assignments and going and meeting and talking to people in areas I had never been to my entire life. And I was totally avoiding the school because, as I said earlier in this, there was a university reporter. So suddenly my scope of Columbia got so much bigger, but then so did the scope of surrounding areas. There was no reason for me to ever go to Boonville before, Boonville, Missouri, right? Or Mexico, Missouri, or, any Kingdom City, other than when you drive by it. But suddenly with the Tribune being a mid-Missouri paper, there was reasons for me to go to these mid-Missouri towns. And the people I'd meet of, they're biking across the country raising money for this. In Sturgeon, Missouri, there is, I want to say it's the Bee Cafe, but I feel like that's not it. Maybe it's not even around anymore. Hold on, let's check here. Sturgeon, Missouri Cafe. Now I can say cafe because guess what? There's no cafes in Sturgeon, Missouri. Buzz Cafe. The Buzz Cafe in Sturgeon, Missouri. They serve, I'm looking to make sure I don't fuck this up too, but this is another George story. Man, we're coming around, right? They serve this giant pork tenderloin sandwich, I believe is what it was. It's just gigantic, not horrible, gigantic. I'm trying to find, they don't have a website, of course, because there it is. Does this guy put a caption on it? Buzz Cafe. If you go to the Google Buzz Cafe, Sturgeon, Missouri, you'll find photos of this giant pork tenderloin coming out of this bun. And I remember George being like, you got to go to when you're going to Sturgeon to cover whatever the fuck I was covering. He's like, you got to stop at Buzz Cafe. You got to get this sandwich. And I did. And it's not like, it's ridiculous looking. I mean, this is a ridiculous looking sandwich, of course. And it was good, but it's fried food. But it was the fact of like, for me coming from Chicago, coming down to Columbia, which is Austin, but without an international airport. If Columbia, Missouri ever got an international airport, it'd be Austin 2.0, where everybody would move there and businesses would go and blah, blah. But to go to real small town Missouri, like the Missouri so many people probably think of, where here's Main Street, there's one light. It's not even a stoplight, it's a flashing red light. And there's one cafe, the Buzz Cafe. You know what I mean? To go in there and do that and have the old timers over here who've been sitting there drinking coffee since they opened and they just keep, you know what I mean? Like, that was fucking Missouri. And all those people were so nice for the most part, except when I show up at funerals and have to ask them questions. But for the other part, super, salt of the earth people. And it ingrained in me that sense of, this is what I was talking about, like when I pointed across the street during the WrestleMania stream, when I had to go smoke a cigarette with the guys across the street to calm them down about the drone, right? Like, it teaches you a way to talk to people. When you come to a person, you call them sir, you're very apologetic, you don't come at them with an attitude or an ego. They play it differently and they accept you, talk to you. And like, that was the icebreaker with everybody, right? And then you get into, well, come on over. Like Art and Ginny Gelding, right? They sell bees. They raise bees. They sell honey at the Columbia Farmers Market and stuff. Like when I got to go out and do their tour there and this profile piece about them, and hearing, like, you sit down and just talk to these people about their lives, and their lives are so interesting. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if you out there think somebody who raises bees' lives would be that interesting, living on a farm, but like all their stories and shit, like, it's the people. The people in Missouri are fucking great. Salt of the earth. John Dyson. Hi, Greg. If you're up to it, please select your favorite Instagram post from April and elaborate on it. Sometimes a photo can only say so much, and a little context can make for a better story. Like what you went through while cooking this or that, or what was that person's reaction when you took a photo of them? Thanks so much. With love, your friend JD. All right. You can play at home, Instagram.com/GameOverGreggy. Well, I guess this is going to be a no-brainer. You posted this question before I put up my favorite post, of course. But I'm scrolling down just to make sure I'm not going to fuck anything up. I'm not going to pick the wrong one. Man, Kevin, I take a lot of photos. I'm a big fan of these photos. So yeah. My favorite one comes from 2 days ago, April 24th, 2017. It's, of course, Love My Life, Geneviève Saint-Ange. Thank you. Love My Life, Geneviève Saint-Ange in our new apartment. I mean, I think the answer's simple, right? Like, we fell in love hard, fast, and now we get to live together. We're finally in the same country, in the same time zone. We get to wake up with each other every day, go to bed with each other every night. Like, that's something pretty amazing for having that, being deprived of that for so long, or have to share it on such short instances. Like, as of recording, right? Like, it's Thursday. So it's only been 4 days of us actually being together. And still, every day I wake up and it's like, or go to bed, it's just like, wow, this doesn't feel real yet. You know what I mean? Like, that she's not going to have to go somewhere. I'm not going to have to go somewhere, like, back to, it's not seeing each other for a month. So, like, what we did here is we went out to dinner, and then she hadn't seen the new place. Like, this is Monday, the first day she got here. We hadn't seen the new place, so we went to dinner and then came back here and opened a bottle of champagne and walked around and talked about where we wanted to put everything and what we wanted to do with it, and then laid on the hardwood and just fucking talked and drank champagne and stuff. And it's like, that's a memory that'll be with me the rest of my life. It's just a fucking fantastic, awesome night. And so, I mean, the photo doesn't portray that necessarily, right? But that's what's happening behind the camera. That's what's happening with it, of just like, man, that's a perfect moment. How I put it up on Twitter, right? As I put it up on Twitter as like, everything's perfect right now. And so thank you for that. You guys make that possible. But that would be the one. Griffey D-Pad. Hey, Greg, I'm part of the college TV station and radio station at my college. Shout out to Oregon State. Go Beavers. I threw that in there. He didn't say that part. Most of my friends around here are from college media, and I have become something of a family with my crew. With that in mind, what are your thoughts on college media? Do you have any fun memory stories from it? That's a complicated question. So there was a college newspaper called the Man-Eater at the University of Missouri. Going into Mizzou, I had done the high school paper my entire run, and I almost gotten thrown out of junior high for starting my own paper. So I was like, clearly I'm going to write for this Maneater. Let's fucking do it. Went to the first Maneater meeting they had, got my first assignment, the Mizzou Ultimate Frisbee Club. They weren't a official sport. Did it, had a great time, turned it in, and then never did it again. Because I found the antlers, and I was totally into the antlers. And the Mizzou journalism program is interesting because you end up working for if you're doing newspaper like I was. I say journalism or newspaper, doesn't matter. If you're going to do newspaper journalism or magazine journalism, you end up writing for the Columbia Missourian, which actually is the competing newspaper with the Columbia Daily Tribune. But it's done where the reporter staff is all students, and then the editors are all. I've worked at the New York Times. I've done this. They're your professors in journalism. It's a very interesting program and why it's one of the best in the country, if not the best. Fucking Badil. So I already knew that I'd be writing for a real paper and getting this real experience and having all these clips and then writing for Vox magazine, which would be more in line with what I wanted to do with EGM and stuff. So I didn't, other than that, that's what I did for the Maneater. Then eventually, later on, I used to draw comics when I was in junior high and high school. And so I'd kind of fallen off of that. But then the Maneater had comics in the back of it. So I was like, oh, interesting. So I did a comic for 2 semesters called The Adventures of Gary and Quinn, because our football coach was Gary Pinkel and our basketball coach was Quinn Snyder, who now coaches for Utah Jazz, right? And so I just had a comic I drew one semester that I was really into it. I drew for them. And it was great. I never got paid because I couldn't find my social security card. So I just did this thing for free for an entire semester, which was stupid because I at least could have been beer money for the weekend. And then a few semesters later, I was like, you know what? I'm going to do it again. But I only did it again because I wanted to get fucking paid. So I did it. And then half into it, I was like, I fucking, and I just they started becoming memes before memes where I was just putting text in and then a cutout. It was terrible. It was terrible. I was just an idiot. But that's what it was. That was fun. I almost got in a fight. I think I've told the story on the thing where I almost got in a fight. And when the guys tried to fight me, I tried to get them to not fight me by saying that I drew Gary and Quinn. But that didn't stop them. It was only when the cops came. James Davis. Hey, Greg, let's chat about YouTube for a bit. So I'm a small YouTuber trying to gain traction. I have a few cool things planned in the coming months, but I'm worried about the platform. Time out. Real quick, what I want to point out. Earlier in this thing, I started getting my phone out and getting it prepped because Andy Cortez walked in and started doing something to his belt. And I thought he was going to moon me. So I was going to take a picture of his ass and catch him in the act. But instead, he just picked up his guitar. And then he walked off with it, and he brought it back now. I mooned Kevin yesterday, so I didn't know if that's what we're doing now.
Just learn the song for the morning show, Greg.
Oh, nice. Today's morning show?
Yeah, possible.
Okay, good.
Take
Good.
out my little portable amp. We don't have to do a whole thing.
All right, good. I like where your head's at. I like you. You're making content over here. I love you. It feels like YouTube is oversaturated. Competing for views and watch time is getting more difficult, and YouTube is always in the news for some monetization scandal recently. I play around with the idea of leaving the platform, but there doesn't seem to be a real option for the moment. I appreciate Rooster Teeth for developing their own platform in the case of such an event. So my question to you is the same one I ask myself often. What would you do if for some reason YouTube was no longer an option? Being much smaller than you in subscribers? Not in height, lol. I don't know how to answer that question. Thank you, Kinda Funny, for everything. Your content, mainly Colin was right, was a big inspiration for my current show, and I will always love you guys for that. Keep it up, smiley emoticon. James Davis, forums user / YouTube, here it is, 16 bits of awesome, 16 bits of awesome. Man, we really fucked it up with Colin was right, didn't we? Nah, fucking right. Well, here's the thing that, is one of the things I'm proud of with Kinda Funny, of course. One of the things detractors would want to throw at us is the thing that for us, excuse me, sorry, YouTube could go away tomorrow and we'd be okay. Because we're not using AdSense as the thing, right? The money we make off of the AdSense, Google TrueView shit that plays before a video, that you have to wait 4 seconds to skip or whatever. That's, I think, our lowest revenue stream in terms of what we did. Because when we launched this and we were like, we're going to do this full time, this is going to be a business, this is how we're going to make our living, we were like, well, we need to be platform proof, if that makes sense. So I always talk about it being, there's all these different legs to the business, where there's YouTube, there's the advertising we do, like the Pro Flowers integrations, the stuff we do through the Let's Play Network. There's Patreon, there's t-shirts, there's Bandcamp, which we don't really use anymore. But it's one of those, if one of those went down, if Patreon tomorrow was like, you know what, Jack Conte's like, fuck it, we're done, we don't like it. it'd be like, oh shit, we got to figure this out, but we wouldn't be fucked. Like it wouldn't be the end of it all. Well, hopefully we'd be able to take the Patreon supporters like you guys are and figure out how to get you somewhere else or how to have you help us somewhere else. And we'd be able to motivate you and do these different things. So it's different for us. I mean, the quickest way around it and the way people are successful on YouTube nowadays is the fact that, yeah, you can't rely on YouTube that way. It needs to be that you are with an MCN or selling your own ads at the very least or doing integrations or whatever. Because if you're just going to sit back and rely on Google, that's always going to be the case, is that's never going. I mean, even if you're iJustine getting millions of views, you're not making the lion's share of your revenue off of YouTube. You need, and I mean off of YouTube's AdSense, right? You need to be able to jump in there, do something else and do it. I swear to God, if you keep making this computer make noises, Kevin, I'm going to kiss you on the mouth. Yeah, you don't want that, do you? It's what I was, so I'm talking about that. This is what I was go back to. Remember, the story goes that before we ever knew about Patreon, we had that meeting for kind of, well, we weren't even kind of funny yet. And it was, what is everybody's number? How much money do you need to live in San Francisco right now? And we all came back with that number and we're like, we don't make that off of YouTube ads. We don't make that off of our MCN. Like, we got to keep figuring this out and going away. And then Patreon came around. And then, you know, it's chicken and the egg. You're in a different place, right? You're a smaller YouTuber. My whole thing would be, I don't think you need to, as a smaller YouTuber, and this is very easy for me to say from my awesome studio and crowdfunded life, that you don't need to worry about the money right now. Worry about your content, make it awesome, make your things you want. Like, when you start, just like I did, right? When you start, you can't be like, cool, I'm starting a YouTube channel. I'm quitting my job. I need no other source of income. Like, that's not how it works. Make your content great, find your voice, do all the different stuff, build out the channel the way you want it to, and then worry about like, well, what if I partner with this MCN? They seem similar to what I like. Or what if I did this? Or I see Loot Crates doing a bunch of things. What if I worked and talked to them and did my own Loot Crate? Like, that's the kind of thing of Loot Crate. I mean, like, people joke around like Blue Apron, Casper mattresses, Loot Crate. Like, the podcast world would explode without these things. So don't go and chase those people, but find the people that work for you and your content and talk to them and do that. I mean, I don't think YouTube's going anywhere. The monetization scandal that happens all the time, that was funny because it happened and so many people are like, oh man, what do you guys think of that? And I'm like, I don't even know. It doesn't affect us because like tomorrow YouTube could be like, yeah, we don't allow you to make any money off of it in terms of back end YouTube and this is a very inside baseball conversation. I'm sorry if you have no interest in YouTube. It's so weird, of course, that the way YouTube people talk to other people, you know what I mean? Yeah, anyways. So make your content, keep it going. What would I do for some reason if YouTube was no longer an option? We'd keep going. We'd use Vimeo. We'd deliver the content that way. So, I mean, it'd be the more interesting question is what would we do if Patreon was no longer an option? How would we, because what we do right is a shortcut. You complimented Rooster Teeth on having their own platform. For us, Patreon was a cheat code to get to there, where Patreon does for us what Rooster Teeth does for itself of let's gate content, let's get your money, let's give you your perks. Patreon for all intents and purposes for us is RT first, which is something they do on their own, which is the smarter way to go because then you don't have to cut anybody in on the money, but we can't do that because we're four guys that can barely fucking make a computer work. Ain't that right, Kev? Yeah. Gerardo Martinez. Hey, Greg. I'm currently going to a university for video production. I have been attending this school for over a year now and have thoughts on leaving the school due to not feeling satisfied with my education. These thoughts originated from me having a lot of video production classes in high school, and this ended up having me land jobs/internships since then. I am mostly curious on what you think about the topic of leaving college to pursue work. I've always been influenced by people like you guys and others within the YouTube, Twitch, Patreon community that you guys have interacted with as well. Thanks again for taking the time to read and answer all these questions that the best friends have come forward to you guys with. Keep up the good/hard work and see you at Kinda Funny Live 3. Yes. Gerardo V. Martinez, aka Gerard the Mart, everywhere else, social media and games. This is a question I'm never super comfortable talking about because I don't have any experience in this and I'm not in your field. For me, I can talk about myself, right? Wanting to work in some kind of journalism, which was games journalism, and getting a degree in journalism I knew would be my inroad there, and it would make it easier, and it would give me, if not, hey, I have a journalism degree, because back in the day, people at IGN weren't working on journalism degrees. Hey, I have a journalism degree. Great, or maybe find a connection that way. I knew that was my path, and I never doubted that. There was never a moment where I'm like, maybe I should just quit and go do this. Blah, blah, blah. Like, that wasn't in the cards for me. So that's my experience. I don't know what it's like to be in video production. I think Nick always talks about it, right? Nick talks about the fact that he wishes he didn't spend money on film school. He thinks he could have done what you're talking about a bit more. But when it comes to stuff like this, I say you got to go with your gut or a trusted confidant in your industry. I'm just some idiot here who can tell you how I made it into video games, but I can't tell you how the world of video production works. I don't know if that matters. It seems like it's more connection based in terms of the way Nick works with people and gets jobs and the way Matt does stuff, or Matt Scarpino, but I don't know. I would say talk to an advisor or talk to somebody who's already made it in your field before you do anything crazy or brash. If you can work at IGN for 8 years and then quit and start a Patreon, it usually works out pretty well. RJ Davis. Hello, Greg. So I'm coming to Kinda Funny Live 3, and I am beyond excited. Beyond. He didn't say beyond, I said that part. This will be the furthest I've traveled by myself. I'm slightly nervous about it. I have a question that might be a good GOG topic, but if you found a genie, okay, might be a good GOG topic, but if you found a genie and they asked you 3 wishes, what would you ask for? Mine would be the ability to win the lottery whenever I wanted. All the burgers I ate were healthy as kale salads, and all the cardboard in the world disappeared at the same time. Thanks for everything you do. Wait, what the fuck's your problem with cardboard? TVs would just be falling. Video games, like Amazon packages, would be lost forever. What are you talking about? You can't do that. That's terrible. I'm with you until the last one. Man, what 3 wishes would I ask for a genie? I'm assuming, hey, I want infinite wishes. My first wish is infinite wishes. Did the genie say that, Kevin?
Yep.
Fuck, all right. Are we going by Aladdin rules?
Yeah.
So what were the Aladdin rules? I don't remember anymore. Genie, I can't wish for more wishes.
You can't make someone fall in love, and you can't bring someone back from the dead. Zombies. He didn't say zombies, but it was implied heavily.
Sure, okay. Well, can I wish for infinite money?
I mean, if you say $1 trillion, you're probably set for life.
Okay. Probably.
No one has $1 trillion at this point.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing. I would get around. Yeah, $1 trillion. Sure. There you go.
I want to say like 10 years ago, the most like the richest person had 90 billion.
Okay.
So it's like
I'll say $1
trillion
trillion
is really far.
Sure, $1 trillion. See, I don't even like being greedy about it. I just want to be able to win the lottery at a time of my choosing. Because then it would be like, hey, it's the biggest jackpot. It's $2 billion. Or whatever.
My question to you, does that mean that other people can't win it that day?
Yeah. Oh, see, that's the whole thing. I got to put all the asterisks in there. Mm-hmm. Do I have a cool genie or an asshole genie? That's always the problem.
They're always asshole genies.
I hate asshole
They
genies.
don't like being imprisoned and making wishes.
Can I wish him free? Is that what Aladdin did with his 3rd wish?
Yes.
That worked out pretty well for him.
Yeah, you should definitely do that.
All right, cool.
So really just say you have 2 wishes. Okay. The last one is like, I wish you're free.
What if I wish it free, though, and then it becomes like Satan? It is the Antichrist. What if I did that?
Oh, shit.
All right.
Maybe your second wish should be like, I want to be more powerful than you.
All right, so $1 trillion, but with all the asterisks.
Mm-hmm.
Then just, can I wish for that's bad, too.
What were you going to say?
I want to live. I don't want it to be, here's your $1 trillion. You're going to die tomorrow.
Oh, shit. I didn't
You know what I
even
mean?
think about that. That's fucked up.
Asshole genies. Actually, you know what? This is a really good topic. All right, we're gonna roll with this. Thank you, RJ Davis. I'm stealing this. I'm putting it into our new Slack channel for GOG topics. Greg, next week. Bink, bink, bink. There you go. Perfect. Thank you, RJ. We love you very much. Logan Wilkinson responded to RJ Davis and said, I'd say the Kinda Funny forums probably have everything you're looking for, just as a heads up.
I like that they're responding to each other. That's awesome.
Oh, because he's going to Kinda Funny Live 3 and he's worried about being alone. Right. Don't worry about being alone at Kinda Funny Live 3. Yeah, you can go room with people. You can go do all these different things. Everyone's there for the same reason. You're all best friends. Don't forget that. Donald Eccles. If all poultry suddenly no longer existed, how would you try to replace the wing void? My first thought, pork wings? Yeah, I'd be ribbing it up, probably. I mean, we already love ribs. We eat ribs.
You going to turn into a rib man?
I mean, I kind of already am. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying like...
You are the chicken wing king, though.
It's true. Yeah. But ribs are great.
Yeah.
I love ribs a lot.
So good.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd probably eat more steaks. And I already eat a lot of steaks. Brett Harrison. If you had to do one, would you do skydiving or spelunking? Kevin, spelunking, do I have an oxygen tank? I don't remember what spelunking exactly is.
Spelunking, isn't that...
it's cave
dwelling.
Interesting.
Yeah,
you
but
know.
I don't think it has to include water. There's underwater spelunking.
Oh,
so I don't
okay.
think you need...
I would do spelunking.
You can take a tank, though, just in case you hit a pocket and you're like, oh, there's no air.
Okay. I do that. Skydiving, I'm just not into. Just not my thing. Chris Arsenault. What is your most memorable backyard wrestling match? Oof, man. So... Okay. It would be Y2 Chaos and 1, our pay-per-view in the backyard. We already done Y2 Chaos. Because it's like Y2K. Get it? All right. This is a complicated story. You know my friend Poe. I've talked about Poe a lot. When we first started backyard wrestling, Poe didn't take it serious. So he wrestled as the Fabulous Gula. And the Fabulous Gula sucked. And he lost every match. He never beat me. Never, ever beat me. And so then Poe, I think we killed Fabulous Gula and he came back as just Poe. And he wrestled. His shtick was high octane wrestling. He's like, doing Rolling Thunder, like RVD's move and shit like that. And he always, Crazy Train by Ozzy Osbourne again, played throughout his entire match. We had a boombox that just played nonstop. So he always came out last and then his music just played the entire match. Y2 Chaos and 1, we didn't tell the rest of the guys. And we brought Fabulous Gula back for one match against me. And it was fucking awesome. And Fabulous Gula beats me, but like we had the fake blood and I was gushing. We poured the fake blood on me and like he climbed up a ladder and then did a frog splash onto me to beat me and all this stuff. And it was just like, there was such energy in it because everyone was so excited that Fabulous Gula was back. Like this Joe character was back and he was beating the shit out of me. And so that was pretty fucking awesome. That was a really good match. I enjoyed that one. Sean Bissonette. How close are we to the Rock and Gruesome Greggy connection? XOXO - Uncommon Soap. Man, I don't know. I hope pretty fucking close. The Rock sees the tweets. He responds to the tweets. He's just too fucking busy. We will know one day. But I don't like to say we're close because who the hell knows? Anthony Camillo, Peanut 0423, a fan from way back. Is your Millie Rock sturdy? Is your Millie Rock sturdy? That makes sense to you?
No.
Milly Rock.
Maybe Tim knows that? Is that a musical reference?
I mean, Tim sucks. Maybe Andy would know it.
Why you gotta do that? Why you gotta do it? Come on.
What? Okay, Millie Rock is some kind of rapper, maybe? Oh, here we go. Okay, Millie Rock, according to Urban Dictionary, a dance, a turn-up dance where you wave your hands and move your body. I Millie Rock on any block. I'm gonna watch. 2 Millie shows you how to do the Millie Rock dance. Okay. 2.4 million views. Kevin, we're old. We don't know anything.
Oh, yeah.
I'm on Global Grind. Just show me how to Millie Rock. This is a 4-minute video. You're not Millie rocking. Oh, hold on. Man. Tim, I'm Millie rocking. I'm Millie rocking right now. I told you he wouldn't know, Kevin. I told you he wouldn't know how to Millie rock.
You're right. I like it.
Your outfit looks good, Tim. Next question. I was Millie rocking. Do you know Millie rocking? You knew Millie rock.
All right, you did it.
Yeah! Cool Greg's here for the barbecue, of course. He says I'm Millie rocked. I'm Millie rocked. Justin Jones, now that Colin is moving to LA, are you getting a new roommate or flying solo? Remember, the AMAs go live for you to leave your questions at the beginning of the month, and I do them at the end of the month, so you've missed it. Genevieve Saint-Onge moved all the way from Montreal here to hang out with me. We're moving into our own new place. That's cool. Not infested with ants. All the rooms appear to have grounded power so that we won't get shocked if we ever have to record there. And the fuses don't appear to blow out if you plug 2 TVs into the wall. Nicole Humphrey. Hi, Greg. Can you tell us the story of how you met and fell in love with Genevieve Saint-Onge, the love of your life? I can. I would want to do it probably on a Game Over Greggy show, though. Is that okay? Because I want that to be a topic eventually. I want it to be a topic, Kev. I want to have her on and we do a topic about it. What's so wrong with that?
People want it now.
The people, I understand, but I want to make it a topic with her one day. Is it okay, Kevin? Kevin, no! You're supposed to support me.
Whoa!
It's a very sweet story, but I want it to be a topic.
Was I involved?
You were? You're in the story. You know that. You've heard the story a million times. I want to tell it on a Game Over Greggy show one day. Here's what I'll do. Here's what we'll do. If I ever marry Genevieve Saint-Onge, the love of my life, we'll do it on the Game Over Greggy show together. How about that?
Come on, that'll never happen.
Fuck you.
All right.
There's a good chance she'll wise up. Wait, I can do better. John BX32. Hey, Greg. Do you guys have any more plans for the studio? I just watched the Kinda Funny Live 2 reveal video and forgot about the back room, Studio B. Do you think you'll end up doing anything with that space? Congrats on Jen and the new apartment. Well, John BX32, yeah, we, if you remember that Kinda Funny Live 2 video, when we walked through this place and it's completely empty, we had a whole bunch of different plans for this than what ended up happening. So yeah, in the back, there's offices up there on that side of the wall. Then there's the bathroom here, hallway, kitchen right behind us. And then that back corner is another space we were calling Studio B. The original idea was this would be the podcast sets, and back there we would have like the morning show area or whatever where we could Twitch stream and all that jazz. Once we built the set in here, we were like, this is too fucking awesome. We should do everything here. Why would we go away from the awesome set to go back there and do this stuff? So we did that, and then when we hired Andy, when we brought Joey on part-time, but when she's in the office and stuff, it became pretty clear we need more desks. So what's happened is Studio B is actually now where the founders sit, where me, Tim, and Nick are in the back there. Then up here, Kevin is still in his little closet where he gets to work all the thing. Then he's got Andy out in front of him and extra desks, and then the couch now for guests when they come over and stuff. So this is the studio, and then we use all that back there. There's a VR room Kevin built in the back for a Let's Play we're supposed to do, that I asked him very nicely to put on the calendar about a month and a half ago.
Oh man, it's just we've been so busy.
Have we?
Yeah.
Have we?
I mean,
hey, also the Star Trek Let's Play. Are you editing that? I see you tinkering with it all the time.
No, I was prepping it to give to Andy.
Great,
It has
perfect.
been prepped, but Andy is unfortunately working. Well, not unfortunately, but he's working on some cool
kind of funny live stuff. Yeah, that's
so,
cool. I was just double checking. I want to make sure you're okay over there, big guy.
I think that he'll be able to start that next week and
Yeah.
then be able to handle it.
Okay, good. And final question. Oh fuck, it's this guy. Oh, fuck, it is this guy. Final question on patreon.com/kindafunny. April Q&A 2017 comes from the Assassin AK-47. Well, hey there, Greg. I saw your little outburst on Twitch after you watched the second half of my video. Did I get inside the almighty Greg Miller's head? You bet your ass I did. I actually, if you haven't been following, we're doing this Mario Kart thing tomorrow, which will actually be in the past for you, where I'm playing Mario Kart and I'm playing Zyger and I'm playing Average Josh and I'm playing like 190 other best friends, but then Assassin AK-47 decided to get his big swinging dick involved in it too and start talking shit about Mario Kart. Did you recognize me? I was on the Ask Kinda Funny Anything last month, and you watched my backyard wrestling company, KBW Wrestling. Are you finally connecting the dots and realizing who I am? Last month, I proposed to have a promo battle with you at Kinda Funny Live 3, and you said that you will remember this. After you witnessed my promo skills firsthand on the morning show, you now know that I'm more than capable to hang with you. I have to admit your comeback was great, but just imagine how great it would be if we went face to face. I don't know about you, but I feel like all the best friends would be into it. You don't have to answer this now if you don't want to, but I would like for you to at least keep it in the back of your mind. Either way, though, I will see you soon at Kinda Funny Live 3. It's kind of like it could have been a sweet comment too. I was just reading it like we were mad at each other. Yep. I'm not sure. I kind of put a lot of tone in that one. I still have nothing to announce for you, Assassin AK-47. All right? Fucking chill out. Kinda Funny Live 3, June 3rd, coming up. KindaFunny.com/KFL3. Get your tickets. Come to San Francisco. Hang out with us. I'll see you there. Hope I did well at the Mario Kart thing, because I talked a lot of shit. Yeah. You know what I mean? If I come out and if everybody beats me and I'm just not good, oof, I'm gonna have a fucking.
Being honest.
I'm gonna have a egg on my face, as the kids say.
Sure.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been your patreon.com/kindafunny Q&A for the month of April 2017. Thank you, patrons, of course, for supporting us over there, giving us your questions, being awesome sauces. Thank you over here on youtube.com/kindafunny for watching it. I hope you consider supporting us on Patreon. No big deal if you can or don't want to. I'm not going to make a big deal about it. Maybe like the video, maybe subscribe, share it with your friends, that kind of shit. You know, you don't want to do that either. That's fine too. Whatever. Go out and be nice to somebody today. You don't want to do that, then you're a jerk. Like, seriously, I've given you a lot of angles to have good karma, but you can't go out and be nice to one person? Think about that. Look in the mirror. Think about it. Until next time, it's been my pleasure to serve you.